What's good, family? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Matthew Mason, and this show is for school leaders who want to lead well, lead with purpose, and lead without burning out. Today's episode is simple on purpose because I think sometimes school leadership gets overcomplicated. New initiatives, new systems, new acronyms, new everything. And sometimes the best thing you can do isn't to add another program. It's just this: show up and be present. That's the main message today. Because when you walk into your building every day, you can learn a lot, gain a lot, and lead better just by using something you already have. And that's your five senses: your eyes, your ears, your smell, your touch, and yes, even your taste. And I'm using these as metaphors, practical ways to walk into your building, gather what's really going on with your students, your staff, and your stakeholders. Nothing complicated, just a way to be effective every single day. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to look at is our sight. Use your eyes to read the room. When I walk into my school each morning, one of the first things I do is I look for faces. I look for smiles. I look for who looks up and who looks down, who looks like they're carrying something heavy. And I'm trying to gauge my people. I'm trying to gauge the atmosphere. I also look at the building itself: cleanliness, what's working properly, what's not, because the condition of the building often reflects the condition of the culture. And I'll say this: I think a lot of leaders miss what's right in front of them because they aren't really seeing. People show us things without words. A staff member can walk past you and their face is already telling you, I'm overwhelmed. A student can sit in class and their posture is telling you, I'm not okay. And the hallway can feel different, and you don't need an email to know something shifted. So here's a leadership rule I live by: let your eyes guide you, then do the research to find out if what your eyes are showing you is the truth. Because sometimes you hear things about a staff member, they're lazy, they don't do much, but then you actually see them work and you realize that was someone else's perception. But your eyes are showing you, no, this person puts in the work. They do a lot. They care. And now your next move changes. You stop running off rumors and you start leading off reality. So next is our hearing. Real listening is leadership. To me, real listening looks like being quiet and intentionally focusing on what the other person is saying, not waiting to answer, not planning your comeback in your head, actually listening. Then responding with a synopsis like, okay, so what I'm hearing you say is, and then taking your time and formulating your response. And who do I need to listen to most during the day? Honestly, everybody. Students can give you something. Teachers can give you something. Parents can give you something. Community members can give you something. And sometimes your own self is telling you what you've been ignoring. But here's the reality: each group can also give information that's not fully true. So you need discernment. And I've had moments where I thought I knew the answer about someone, like, why are they always late? Why aren't they turning this in? And in my head, already labeled it as a character issue. But then I sat down and actually talked to them. And I found that there was so much more going on. And because I listened, now I can move from judgment to support. One habit I'm working on to truly listen: don't interrupt. I'm not perfect at it. I'm still working, but I'm learning to stop trying to respond so fast. If I forget what I'm going to say, that's cool, because the goal isn't for me to sound smart. The goal is for them to feel heard and for me to lead with wisdom. The next is smell. Smell the culture before it explodes. Now, smell is interesting. Literal smell: if I smell something that stinks, I want to know why. If it doesn't smell clean or appropriate for school, we're fixing that. But non-literal smell: you can smell gossip. You can smell frustration. You can smell anger. You can smell when a space is heavy, even if nobody says a word. And the way you train your non-literal nose is simple: get out of your office. If you're not walking the building daily, not weekly, daily, you're not going to be able to use your senses. You need to be in classrooms. You need to be in the cafeteria. You need to be in the gym. You need to be in the community because warning signs show up early if you're present. For example, when someone is normally bubbly and today they're not, when a tone shifts, when you ask a question in a meeting and no one answers, when people get quiet in the room, when somebody feels distant, you start to smell dissension or a problem or a culture shift. And the more you walk, the faster you pick it up. And healthy culture smells like people smiling, people talking, people being open, people supporting each other. And even when things are frustrating, there's still hope. And I've been learning this line. Hope is not a strategy, but hope is a prerequisite. You've got to believe things can get better before you can lead people into better. All right, so the next thing is touch. So be in touch by being present. When I think about touch, I think about being in touch with your building. If someone asks you how things are going, you shouldn't only give blanket statements like things are good. You should be able to speak specifically. So you can say things like, oh, want to know what's happening with staff, what's happening with students, what's happening with your community, what's happening with your stakeholders. That's how you know a leader is in touch. And physical presence matters. If you're not present, you won't know what's going on. And your people feed off your presence. When you're available, they feel it. When you're missing, they feel that too. So what do I do that's tangible? Some days I'm standing out front, or I'm in the cafeteria greeting students and staff. Some days I'm walking classrooms, trying to get into every classroom I can, or at least hitting a floor a day. Sometimes I'm hall monitoring, just being visible in the hallway. Because when someone sees you and staff sees you, the building feels led. Taste is what does your school taste like? So now this one is a newer one for me, but it's powerful. So I've been wanting to get the taste. Taste makes me think about flavor. So like seasoning, energy. Like when you eat food, you can tell if it's bland, bitter, or seasoned right. So I started asking myself, if my school was a meal, what does it taste like? Is it zesty? Is it strong? Is it bitter? Is it bland? Because taste is the finished product sense. It's like, okay, the meal is done. Now we got to see if this is working. Do students have excitement to come to school? Do staff feel excited to come to work? Because it feels wrong when people talk like, I don't want to be here. This place is draining. I don't like it here. That tells me the flavor is off. And now I'm a third time principal. And each time I've led, I've gotten better at noticing when the ingredients aren't right and knowing which ingredients not to put in. Because leadership is partly learning what creates culture, what destroys it, and what needs to be removed before it ruins the whole meal. Taste is that moment where you pause and go, okay, is this working or is it not working? And what do we need to do to change it? So some practical takeaways from the day. Let me give you a simple daily habit for each sense. Nothing complicated. So the first one we'll talk about is sight. Walk your school and look at people's faces. Look at the building. Look at the atmosphere. Let your eyes guide you to what needs attention. The next thing is hearing. When someone speaks to you, resist the urge to jump in. Repeat back what they said. So what I'm hearing is, then respond. For smell, do learning walks for yourself. Get out of your office and smell the culture. Notice tone shifts, notice silence, notice heaviness. For touch, drop in classroom, show up at events, say good morning, have conversations, be visible. For taste, reflect on a plan or initiative using this quick framework. See what's the good, the bad, or the ugly. What's good and we should keep, what's bad and we need to adjust, what's ugly, and we need to stop immediately. That's how you check the flavor of your leadership in real time. So here's the truth. Great school leadership isn't about titles or test scores. It's about showing up every day with your five senses fully alive so you can lead your students, staff, and stakeholders toward the mission and vision you've all committed to. Be present. Because if you're not in the building, not in the room, not walking, not listening, you'll make decisions without understanding. And then you'll have no data to back it up. But when you show up and use your senses, you don't just manage the building, you lead it. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a leader who needs a simple reset. And as always, keep showing up, keep growing, and keep leading with purpose. I'll see you soon.